And guys, in this next news story, a gang who laundered hundreds of millions of pounds of criminal cash through a West Yorkshire scrap jewellery business have been found guilty. In what is believed to be the largest money laundering case ever in the UK, 4 people were today found guilty of their part in channeling £266 million through Bradford-based company Fowler Oldfield. Gregory Frankel, who's 47 years old, Daniel Rawson, who's 47 years old, Haroon Harry Rashid, who's 54, and Arjun Baber, who's 32, were found guilty of money laundering following a trial at Leeds Crown Court. The convictions follow a painstaking investigation by West Yorkshire Police's Economic Crime Unit, which established the vast amounts of banknotes from criminal networks across the country were being laundered under a veil of legitimacy. Detectives unearthed large amounts of cash being credited to the bank accounts of Fowler Oldfield, collected from 3 different sites. Fowler Oldfield's own premises at an industrial-style unit at Hall Lane in Bradford, the offices of Stunt & Company on Curzon Street in London, and Pure Nines, who were based in Hatton Garden in London. During a trial which lasted 19 weeks, the jury heard how the money would arrive at Fowler Oldfield by the sackload. CCTV footage showed how couriers from far afield as Glasgow, Manchester and Merseyside would turn up at Hall Lane in Bradford, carrying heavy bags laden with banknotes, all the proceeds of crime. At one stage, an average of £1.7 million a day was coming into the premises, all in cash and contained in sports bags, carrier bags, bags for life, gift-wrapped toy boxes, and even takeaway food containers. It was counted on professional money counting machines and collected by legitimate cash-in-transit companies to deposit into a bank. The money was largely used to buy a gold grain, which is untraceable and easier to conceal than bullion. Much of this gold is believed to have been taken out of the UK. West Yorkshire Police's Economic Crime Unit was alerted in 2016 when a cash-in-transit company raised big concerns about the huge increase of cash being collected from Fowler Oldfield. Fowler Oldfield's legitimate business would involve the purchase of scrap jewellery, including gold in return for cash. However, the business model dramatically changed to receiving and processing cash on a large scale. The rigorous investigation by West Yorkshire Police's Economic Crime Unit involved the forensic analysis of invoices, emails and paperwork, as well as studying over 8,000 hours of CCTV footage. It was calculated that more than £266 million was paid into the Fowler Oldfield account between January 2014 and September 2016. Investigators carried out surveillance on the property and discovered criminal cash was arriving to be counted and banked. The West Yorkshire Police probe found that from 2014 onwards, Fowler Oldfield saw a substantial increase in the amount of cash paid into its accounts. The amount of cash coming into the company increased from just over, check this out, from £11,000 in 2012 to over £650,000 a year later. And then, by 2015, payments going into the long-established Bradford company grew substantially. So, as I said, the previous year, £650,000 a year. It grew to £95 million of cash coming in. Absolute madness at times. The amount of cash being banked by this company in one day was said to be similar to sums banked by Premier League football clubs following a big match. Couriers were given a token such as a dollar bill or £5 note with a password to identify themselves and for proof of delivery. During the trial, the jury saw CCTV footage of the cash being checked by a security expert for bugging or tracking devices. Investigations found that between the 2nd of August and the 1st of September 2016, an average of £1.7 million a day came in cash into the Fowler Oldfield offices every day. The records maintained by the business were in the form of simple ledgers with variations in cash counts left unexplained or unchallenged. Communications across the money laundering network took place through encrypted chat platforms. When officers executed a search warrant at Fowler Oldfield's Bradford premises in September 2016, over £2.1 million was seized. No one has ever come forward to claim any of the cash that belongs to them. Speaking after the verdicts, Assistant Chief Constable Pat Twiggs of West Yorkshire Police said this was a sophisticated operation designed to launder a substantial amount of money connected to criminal activity in a number of regions across the UK. I have no doubt whatsoever that this cash is linked to organised crime activity, including drugs and wider criminality, and I'm pleased that we successfully demonstrated that to the court. By doing so, we have uncovered a wider network of criminality and managed to cause significant disruption to their activities. At no point during our investigation did anyone come forward to claim any of the money that was seized, and we were surprised. This kind of activity, whilst appearing to be detached from the impact caused by our communities by drugs and violence, was a key process in camouflaging the ill-gotten gains of organised crime by attempting to make it appear legitimate, and ultimately these funds are further used for illicit purposes. But the truth is that these people, some of whom lived very, very, very lavish lifestyles, all profited from the misery caused by drugs and organised crime. The outcome of this court case demonstrates we have the capability to attack and disrupt large-scale criminal interests and prove their underlying criminality, however legitimate they claim to be. This complex and detailed investigation undertaken by the West Yorkshire Police's Economic Crime Unit has taken over 8 years to reach this point, and I am pleased the diligence and tremendous determination our officers and staff together with partner agencies has achieved this result. Nobody is beyond the reach of the law. Hannah von Dandelsvand of the Crown Prosecution Service said this case is one of the largest money laundering prosecutions ever brought to the courts of England and Wales. It involved a colossal quantity of cash undoubtedly derived from criminal activity. These defendants were at the heart of the operation to launder and legitimise the dirty cash, bringing it into the banking system. Criminal justice enforcement involving a number of agencies have sent an important message out about the wholesale laundering of criminal proceeds. Said we have already seen the successful prosecution of 12 cash couriers who were bringing large bundles of criminal cash into Fowler Oldfield. Their convictions will hopefully deter them and others from being involved in the same way in the future. The Financial Conduct Authority brought proceedings against the NatWest Bank for breaching money laundering regulations, reinforcing the need for compliance controls in the financial sector. After a detailed and comprehensive investigation by West Yorkshire Police's CPS Serious Economic, Organised Crime and International Directorate has successfully prosecuted these individuals who are the prime organisers in the laundering process. We will now make every effort to ensure that they do not enjoy the fruits of their criminal activity, pursuing confiscation proceedings against them. Absolute madness, guys. Over £250 million in cash in 2.5 years, and as the report said, some days they were making more than Premier League clubs. Crazy. It's your boy GC. Keep it locked, keep it real.